Well, I am revisiting the story of Joseph, and I have had this thought before. We saw the way Joseph was tested, and for years, like at least a decade would have gone by, like for God's promise to be fulfilled. And we saw how he was tested brutally, like being put in prison, sold as an actual slave. Not even during a modern time, like in Egypt in that time. How painful is that? And being accused of disgusting things while being completely faithful to God. And then God exalts him, and God puts him in a great position in Egypt. And Joseph sees the faithfulness of God. However, there is someone else who was tested even for a longer time, and that is Jacob. I cannot imagine how many times Jacob would have looked at God with tears in his eyes, beating his chest, saying, God, how could you do that? Why would you take my son from me? How many times you would have, like, yes, all of that was, like, it was very brutal for the other sons of Jacob to withhold this information from him just to save their own skin, save their own image, and prevent themselves from being subject to his anger. They kept seeing their own father that crying for his beloved son. And I'm not saying Joseph is fair in this favoritism, but that's not the focus right now. So all of these years they saw him crying. All of these years he must have thought, my son is gone. And we know that Jacob never like stopped mourning for his son Jacob. And how much more would he have never stopped asking God about this? And then God is like, let's just kind of make the test even tougher. Let's take one more son, like Simeon. He must have thought, God, because this son was violent, but it was still my son, and he is gone. And now Benjamin, like another piece of my heart. And then he sees Jacob, sorry, it was Joseph. As I'm watching this movie called Joseph, and now I also see the pattern of God. God usually, not usually, all the time, he must perfect our faith. Like that is, he's like laser focused on that. He cares about my heart, your heart, more than we care about it. But he's like so focused on faith, and he does not stop until that faith has been perfected. And this movie gives me insight that it would have finally, uh, Jacob would have finally let go of control, like trying to protect his beloved son. It would have taken faith on his part to Jamin go with his brothers who were clearly envious. Like he must have thought, I one time I trusted that no, they wouldn't do anything, and I sent my son to them, and he died. How can I send my another beloved son? I would have finally taken faith on his part. No, I realize I cannot control this anymore, God, and I trust you. It's you. Whether you save my son or not, you give them to me, and it's you who will do what you will do. And I trust you. And I will send Benjamin. Then God chooses to reveal the truth to him. And it might sound unempathic if you just see it as something he's focused on and he's doing. What is faith for? How much I trust him, like my heart for him. That's the most important thing to him. Then he should do whatever he wants to do and test us however he wants to test us and perfect that before anything else. how amazing it would have been between Jacob and God. I cannot imagine. Like, how does he do that? Like, if I if I have something for someone and they are misunderstanding me, but I have planned a surprise, there is only so much I can bear. Like, I might pretend like I have nothing from them for them, but when they're going to the point of like accusing me, I will be heartbroken and I would be like, I cannot take it anymore. Let me just reveal it so that I can have peace with them, so that I won't get hurt, so that they won't misunderstand me and all of those things. But how does God do that? He sits patiently for years while we are crying and questioning, and all we see is darkness when He knows that behind just that wall which makes it dark, there is just light and only light. And it's not just Jacob, and like the grand surprise of Jacob, like he didn't just find his son, he found him in such a great and powerful position when he became the help for their family and for their whole for the whole Egypt. And then that's how it is with us. Like God tests us brutally, just more than any competitive coaching would test the students. And it's not just situational test, it's our whole lives actually. Look at the things that we believe is our promise. We are with God, we are His blessed people, we are favored, and we are going to reign with Him. The promises we have are so much greater than the promises all the people in the Old Testament had combined. And yet, look at our lives now. I'm not saying that I personally am greatly blessed, but there are also troubles, and we all can relate to that, and we all can say yes that this life is full of pain. And Christians, if you see it with just human eyes, we are not victorious. We are not living in glory. Again, from a human perspective. But how, how does God have the patience to have his people see justice? And and look at him like, excuse me? How does he have the patience? Like, how full of love can a person be when they do that? And how much more sovereign? How much more sovereign, like we are sovereign? How sovereign is he when he does that? And how worthy is he that we should trust him? I just hope this encourages you to trust God. And if there is anything that you're going through right now, just look at the stories we have and know that it applies to you too. There are times God does just let things be, but even then, there is a treasure in His heart for us, and we should believe that, and we should treasure Him no matter what. All right. Thank you for watching.